What's up guys, this is iTweaks here, and I know it's a little bit late, but the new iPad Air 2 is here, so I want to go ahead and unbox it for you guys. So you can see right here that I actually got the gold 64GB cellular version, and you can see that we've actually changed up the box just a little bit, adding that gold font right there for the iPad Air and that Apple emblem. But let me bust out my knife here and start taking off the plastic of this box, and while I'm doing that, some of the specs will actually may be surprising if you know the specs of the previous iPad models. We actually have an A8X chip, which has 3 cores and a whopping 2 gigs of memory. Finally, we get 2 gigs of memory on our tablet. But you can see right here, let's go ahead and take the top off of this, and we can get a better look at the new iPad. And there it is. And the gold accents just look really nice. But if I pull this little tab right here, the first thing you notice is how thin it is. But let's go ahead and put this aside right here and see what else we have in the box. Of course, we always have our literature, and if we open that up, we'll also notice a SIM card tray tool right there. And right in here, we have the usual stuff. Just a little diagram of the iPad Air, and right behind that, some literature, and then our Apple stickers. So we'll put those aside, and here is our brick. So we can plug in our lightning cable to charge our device, and here's our lightning cable. Nothing new here. Alright, so here is the actual iPad. So now we have to take off this plastic right here, which is always a nice sound, so let's go ahead and listen. And here is the new iPad Air 2 completely unboxed. Now, the second thing that you're going to notice, aside from how thin this device is the new Touch ID sensor. Yes, iPad finally got the Touch ID, so that's definitely a huge plus, especially if you're used to using it on your other devices. Now, over here on the edge, we have our chamfered edges, and they just look really, really nice, especially that contrast between the gold and white. I think it looks great. Now, down here on the bottom, we got a redesign for the speaker grills. We used to have 2 rows, now we just have a single row, just like the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. Now over here on the right hand side, we have our SIM tray. So down there at the bottom, you can see that right there. And then up here at the top, we have our volume rockers. Now you're going to notice that something is missing here, and that is the mute switch or the portrait lock switch. And you can't actually, or you don't need it anymore because it's in the control center itself. So you can just swipe up and toggle that on. Now we also have our 8 megapixel camera and the 2 mics right there, along with the power button right up there in the corner. Now, of course, we have our white antenna band because this is a cellular iPad. And right here we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is just about as thick as the entire device. If we take a look at the left-hand side of the device, you can really get a glimpse of how thin this really is. It's only 6.1mm thick, which is actually thinner than the iPhone itself. Right here we have our 1.2 megapixel FaceTime camera. Let's go ahead and power this guy on. And we'll go ahead and set this up really quick. I'll just kind of speed through this so we can get a look at the device on. And we'll go ahead and set up our Touch ID, which is always very simple and straightforward. And now we've set up our iPad. So the first thing we can do is check out our new toggle. So we have our mute switch and our portrait lock switch right there in the control center. So no need for the physical switch anymore. And we actually got an upgrade to the screen itself because the LCD panel is laminated to the glass. So that brings the icons and everything else on your device closer to your finger. There's no more of an air gap right between the glass and the LCD panel. So everything just looks a whole lot better. Now, in addition to the new 8 megapixel camera that we have on the iPad, we have the slow-mo and time-lapse feature. Now, for the slow-mo, unfortunately, we only get 120 frames per second. We don't get that option to switch to 240 frames per second, but still, at the same time, it's a nice feature for the iPad. Now, another really awesome feature that we get is the ability to select your carrier within the settings. So if you purchase your iPad from Apple themselves, then you're going to get an Apple SIM, which allows you to go into your settings, tap on cellular data, and then select your carrier right here. So you could select AT&T, Sprint, or T-Mobile right here. But keep in mind, if you do select AT&T, supposedly you get locked into that network. You no longer can switch between that, so keep that in mind. So this is just the unboxing video of the new Apple iPad Air 2. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with everything Jailbreak as well as everything Apple, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. Alright guys, until next time, peace.